feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back in this very steamy Melbourne right now. Massive thunderstorm just went through Melbourne. Thank God the humidity was like 95% humidity over the last, I don't know, 18 hours or something. It was awful. I'm glad we're finally getting out of summer. Hopefully that's the last sort of rain event that we're going to have. Hey, good to see you guys. I know a lot of people are not going to know the name in the title, so that's okay because I'm gonna tell you all you need to know about them. We talk a lot on this channel about youth crime. It seems to be the topic of, I don't know. It just seems to be the topic we've spoken a lot about recently, and then again here in Wisconsin, in the town of Turtle. Turtle, I don't know if I've ever heard of a town called Turtle before, but a 14-year-old killed by a 41-year-old. The irony there is a bit strange, but that is what is going on. They're saying here, a woman is accused of killing a 14-year-old after authorities responded to a welfare check on Friday morning. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce her name. Is it Tyiece Oninski, 41, is charged with first-degree intentional homicide. Sounds like a very sad case. Now, I was doing a bit of Googling before. I was trying to find an image of her, and looks like there's only one or two I could find, and it's not very many. But yeah. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I don't know why that's not loading. Good work, StreamYard. Good work for being absolutely rubbish. Let's see. Yeah, it's not loading, but here, we'll watch the video. We'll go from there. Good to see everyone, by the way. I see everyone. You guys can see me. I can see all of you. It's how the internet works. So I don't know how embarrassed half of you are right now, but, we'll see. You'll tell me in the comments. Oh, good work.
In the town of Turtle, Wisconsin. Rock County deputies say a 14-year-old was the victim and a 41-year-old woman is behind bars. First responders went Friday to the 2000 block of East Gorton Street. Law enforcement believe they found the teen dead and arrested Tyiece Oninski for first-degree intentional homicide. No word on how the two are related.
He's only
Yeah, no word on how they're related, but you got to think there has to be some relation there to be 14 and to be killed by a 41-year-old woman. I'm going to think that there has to be some very close relationship. I don't know what it is. And you'll be like, Ping, we come to your channel for answers. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I wish I did. But it's a teenage girl, 14 years old. Actually, we do know a little bit more. That's right. Ping's memory works in blocks, apparently. There we go. There's the victim. What a nice looking young girl. 14. That's so young. It's her aunt identified her. Curran Reen. I'm probably pronouncing that terribly. I'm sorry to everyone that has good names, not like mine. They said that she was a kind, intelligent, and maintained such contagious optimism. Even in the darkest of times, this tragedy is devastating, ending to a years-long battle amongst family members and the overworked system in place to protect our children. Oh, that's ominous. I don't like when people say things like that. Hold on. I'm sure there's a GoFundMe. Give me 1 second. There is a GoFundMe. Of course there is. Of course there's a GoFundMe. There we go. that photo looks very like years ago because some of the other photos we see are much newer. Like that photo that we had up just before. Where is it? This one right here, she looks a little older. I don't know what grade, but 9, 10, 11, 12, something like that. This photo in the GoFundMe, she looks very young. This looks like when she was like 7 or 5 or something, like very, very young. The other photos were from a little bit older. No word on that relationship though. It's got to be some sort of family carer, something like that. They're saying here, our hearts are shattered as we share the unimaginable loss of a beautiful 14-year-old taken far too soon. The tragedy has left family, friends, and an entire community grieving in words cannot fully express. Sounds like you're doing a pretty good job of expressing them. We are coming together to support a young man who has just lost his sister. There's always something in a devastating and unthinkable way at the hands of their own mother. There you go. It seemed like there was probably going to be some direct connection. No one should have to face something like this, especially at such a young age. So, are they fundraising for the brother? Is that what they're doing? Because you mention him like here in this paragraph, and then you go on to talk about the girl in every other paragraph. So that's confusing. They're saying she was deeply loved and will be missed beyond measure. Her life mattered. That is true. It does. And she deserves to be honored with dignity and care. I don't know about dignity. When you're on the old GoFundMe, I don't know about dignity, but sure. We are asking for any support you can give, whether that is a donation, a share, or simply keeping this family in your thoughts and prayers. I can do that for you. Every bit helps during this incredibly difficult time. Thank you for surrounding this family with love, compassion, and money and support when they need it most. There you go. That's what it says. Yeah, it's far too young. They mentioned something about the system not taking care of them. I don't have any record of this, and I did have a look. I don't know who called in the welfare check, but someone must have. I have questions. If there is a brother, why was he not at the address, and why did a welfare check come from outside of the home? So I have questions about how that unfolded. I'm trying to just double check whether we have any court records for like child type records. I don't. I can't see anything. Oh, okay. So the local county sheriff, which is Rock County, are saying that they are going to do a press conference, but not right now. They want the sort of community to calm down. They want to get through their investigation, and then they're going to do a press conference. They don't want to do it smack bang when tempers are high, emotions are high. They don't want to do it like that. So apparently they want to do it at a later date. When? Don't know. A later date. Let's have a look. Rock County. Rock County. Media release. Yep. So I see a media release. What does it say? It says, hey, stop contacting us about the death of this 14-year-old girl. That's probably what it says. What does it say? There's Sheriff Curtis N. Fell, Rock County, and they say they arrived on scene and located a 14-year-old decedent inside the residence. A suspect was identified, and as a result, Tyiece, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, L. Oninski, 41 years old, of, I can't even pronounce it, town, is it Belliot, was arrested for first-degree intentional homicide. Yeah. More information regarding this investigation will be released at a later date. Pursuant to the directive of the Wisconsin Supreme Court, and as found in the Supreme Court Rule 23-6, trial publicity, you are advised that a charge is merely an accusation. What? And that a defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty. All right, Sheriff, we believe you. We've we've done this before, sir. We've done this before. So yeah, there you go. Very sad. 14. I mean, what is going on in the world where I don't know. I don't know, guys. I get on here every night and I feel like we read the worst stories imaginable, and it's almost like, you know, they have a word for it. Actually, I'm going to spell it out in the chat. I cannot say it. 1 minute. I just want to like censor it a little bit. Yeah. All right, here we go. So this is the word that they use quite frequently for it. And at times it feels like this. Is it going to, yeah, there we go. So this word down here, right down here, this word, that's what it feels like sometimes, I promise. When we read about these awful tragedies, really, 14 years old. And I think the story here will be, why did this need to happen? Why did this little girl need to die? And that's part of the story we don't have right now. There is that weird mention of, if I go back to it, something about the system. Yeah, here. Ending a years-long battle amongst family members and the overworked system put in place to protect our children. The F does that mean? The F does that mean? Does that mean that there was, like, child services involved at one point? That's a really cryptic thing to say. The tragedy is a devastating ending to a years-long battle amongst family members and the overworked system. Custody battle, maybe? Maybe between the mom and the dad? Other than that, there's no more context to it. Strange. Very strange. Let me see what else I can find on this girl. Yeah, here. Reports indicate the tragedy followed a years-long battle involving family members and child protection. There you go, child protection. Some reports identified the suspect as Reen's mother. We now know it is from the GoFundMe. But other than that, no context as to what exactly was going on in the lives of these people. I have a better photo. I'm just grabbing it. Give me 1 second. Is that her? I'm just trying to see if this is her. Yeah, it looks like it. This is a horrible copy, though. It's another photo of her. They say, "Fly high, rest in peace, amazing angel. Love you." Yeah, fly high. There we go. Friends are posting things on social media. Kim says, "I took it that way." I'm guessing, like, yeah, that's the only way you can take it, is that, look, I think there's more to this story. I think we're going to get a completely different side to it at some point in time. I think we're probably going to hear that concerns had been brought up with the mum before, and someone, I don't know who, someone's going to come out at a later stage and say, "We tried to tell him. We tried to tell him. We have been telling the authorities for years that something was going to happen, and no one listened to us." I am guessing that is exactly what is going to come out in the near future. I think that's probably the story here. Give me 1 second. I just want to check one other place for information on her. Can't see a social media profile. I see the brother. Is that the brother? He says, my baby sister. Okay. I don't know if that's the brother they're talking about. How old would this guy be? No, I think they were talking about a brother that was like the same age, right? Or a similar age, not this kind of age. Like there's a photo of him there, Tyler. There's a photo of him. I think in that GoFundMe they said a younger brother. Yeah. They said, yeah, it's a young brother, especially at this young age as he navigates overwhelming grief. What a young man who has lost his sister. I mean, young man is a wide, it's a wide descriptor. You can call someone who's 22 a young man. So the mum did. The mum. We know that now. In the GoFundMe, it says that he lost his sister at a devastating and unthinkable way at the hands of his own mother. So they're saying it is the mum. So there you go. I don't know how many children. It sounds like at least 2. There's 1. Let me switch you back to this one, and then I'll have another look. I see that guy. Condolences to him at the loss of his, sister. Let me have a look if there's anyone else with that last name. Her best friend is posting on social media quite a lot. She has a good friend of 7 years, according to her profile, and posted some photos of them together. I don't know what she's posting here. So originally there was a public safety alert that went out. Okay, this gives us some background. So this was a public safety alert that originally went out. East Gordon Street. Caller claimed they harmed someone with a knife. EMS stage. Caller refused police orders to stand outside. May have mental health issues. Oh, look. That's the photo that they posted. Being that they are friends with her, I'm gonna take what they say, and run with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is the same event. Yeah, I'll show you the comments. From what I'm gathering so far, sounds like the mother of the deceased may have stabbed her child. So the what? From what I'm gathering so far, sounds like the mother of the deceased may have stabbed her child. Yeah, that's one way to put it, but not the way I would word it. I would have said just the first bit, that the mum had killed her own child. It sort of sounds like a double positive to say it in that way. So yeah, it looks like the community already knew when this was going down what was going on in the local community, which, I get it. Is that her there? It looks like it. There's some other photos with, family members, and it's really sad. I'm just trying to see if we have anything else. A lot of people seem to know her. including where she used to live before she moved. There's a neighbor that knew her when she was 4 years old. So many people knew this girl. Interesting. Yesterday, my son's best friend, Xavier Elmhorst, who lives with me, got the horrific news that his baby sister was taken from him forever. How many brothers are there? There seems to be at least a couple. Another one called Xavier? Ah, yeah, we saw him in the other photo. There's another brother. It is, that looks like the same guy, but anyway, maybe just strong genetics. There's the other one. And there's some photos of them. It's strange. I just wonder what happened within this family where they seem to have been separated for so long. Like the photos that they have are from years ago. They're not recent. They don't seem to be from when she was a little older. Because, she was 14. In some of these photos, she's quite young. And I don't see him sharing any other photos of her. A lot of photos of him, but not a lot of photos of her. I wonder why. And that other lady says he actually lives with another family, with a friend. Look, maybe there is a lot more of that child custody, CPS type thing going on than we know. If that's what's happened, and CPS knew of the dangers between the mum and her children, then there has to be an investigation into what the F is going on, because it shouldn't have ended like this. It shouldn't have ended with a 14-year-old being killed, by her own mum. Yeah, there's another one here. If it'll load, let's see.
Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Brandon Taylor. Investigators say a 14-year-old was found dead inside of a home in the Beloit area. Several Rock County agencies were called to East Gorton Street, just off the Shapir Road, in the town of Turtle for a welfare check just before 8 o'clock Friday morning. Beloit Memorial High School has identified the teen as Curran Rain. Investigators arrested 41-year-old Tyiece Oninski for first-degree intentional homicide. Now the community is grieving the loss of the 14-year-old. New at 10, Chloe Morrissey speaks with a mother whose stepson was close friends with Curran and how the family is processing the grief.
We were so glad that she was his friend.
To Amy Sorensen, Curran Rain was more than just a friend to her stepson.
She was always fun to be around, and she brought out she brought out the best of our son, because he he can be very quiet and shy, and she was always like very laughy and giggly and just always super friendly and respectful.
The two met in middle school, quickly becoming close.
They would get snacks at Piggly Wiggly and find one of the parks to go to, or like the little ice cream shop next door, and we were like, oh, who's this girl?
But now those moments are all that's left. Amy told me the news of Corinne's death was hard to believe.
I just feel like I keep cycling through all those steps of grief, like anger, disbelief, back to anger. Just hoping in the beginning, hoping that it was wrong.
A friend who meant so much, now a loss they're learning to live with.
A part of him will always be stuck at 15 at this moment in time, but I think it's just going to be time.
But as time moves forward, the grief remains.
Just all the things that she's going to miss out on, that all her friends get to go forward and have those memories, and they won't have her included in those.
In the town of Turtle, I'm Chloe Morrissey.
Thank you.
How awful. Really sad story. 14, man. You guys think back, look how old all of us or most of us are. And imagine if your life stopped at 14. I don't know. You think of all those things that you did after that age, and you go, wow, that would have, you know, I get why they're so sad because look at all the different things each of us have achieved later on in our lives. And she'll never get to do that. Awful story. I will keep you updated. If I can find anything else about the mom, I will. I'm just going to have a quick. What's this? Hmm. There's another one here.
It's here on East Gorton Street, just off Chaupier Road in Beloit, where investigators say a 14-year-old was found dead inside a home. Beloit Memorial High School identified the teen as Corinne Rain. People who knew Corinne tell me she was the sweetest girl, an animal lover, polite, and the type of kid you'd want yours to be at her age. I spoke with a neighbor who lives right next door to Corinne.
I never thought it would be this close to home ever. This neighborhood is very quiet, family orientated. You would never think it would be the girl next door.
We know several Rock County agencies were called here for a welfare check just before 8 Friday morning. Investigators arrested 41-year-old Tyiece Oninski for first-degree intentional homicide. Based on online court records, Oninski has a lengthy criminal history. The Rock County District Attorney's Office tell me Oninski is in the hospital right now, and it's still unclear when she'll be well enough to be taken to jail. While investigators try to piece together what led up to this, for many here, the focus right now is on the life that was lost.
Very devastating. Corinne was a wonderful young lady. She was just a wonderful, beautiful soul.
Corinne was a freshman at Beloit Memorial. In a message sent to families, the school called this a very sad situation, adding she will be deeply missed. School leaders also acknowledge just how hard this is for students, offering support and resources through the school. Reporting in the town of Turtle, I'm Chloe Morrissey.
All right, let me see where I want to have a look at those documents. Okay. We're going to have a look at this. What is that? WC, I can't read it. WCRA? It's not the one I'm on. Let me try and find out what document site that is. Can barely read it. Okay, I know it's the Wisconsin courts.gov. WCCA. Wisconsin courts. All right, I found it. Case search. Okay. All right. This might take. It's not as easy as some of the other ones. Some of the other ones that you can just look it up and away you go. This one looks like we're going to have to actually put in possibly a request, maybe. She has a lot of cases, right? Dating back to at least 2003, but they don't give you what type of case. Most of them closed already, but that is oh no, dating back before then. Her last one in 23. Hmm. All right, let's see what else we can find. Um, Yeah, we might have to do this when we're off the air. I think we may have to file for it. What courthouse does it say? State of Wisconsin versus her. Doesn't give me what courthouse it is, whether it's the Supreme Court or the lower level court. I'll have to do some searching of it when we're not on air and see if we can. Oh yeah, here we go. What is her full name? Oninski. All right, guys, give me 1 sec. I will try and see if we can do it. Nope, that's her. Okay. Nothing in the Supreme Court. Let's check the Circuit Court. Okay, Oninski, and then her first name must be the Circuit Court. Aha, found it. There we go. All right. What has been going on here? Dane County. So dating back, she got done in Rock County, then Dane County, then Rock County, then in Dane County, then in Rock County again, and then Walford County, and then the rest are in Rock County. What type of case is this? Speeding. So that first one is a traffic violation. Okay, no one cares about that. Operating while revoked. So she got done for driving a car, I'm guessing, with no license. So she got done with that. Let's check out what else. Actually, let's go forward. Let's go to 23. Disorderly conduct. Class B misdemeanor. That was her last charge in 23. Yeah. Okay. Weird. Second last charge in 23. Again, disorderly conduct, bail jumping. Jeez. Bit of a history. Let's have a look. What does this say? Read in charge. Okay. I think that's just related to the other charges that we did. Let's have a look at this one. Okay. That one too, it got read in. Means it's not applicable. Disorderly conduct DV. This lady's got a hell of a history. Rock County Ordinance Disorderly Conduct DV. This is not a criminal offense and results in only a money penalty for this offense. But DV. Interesting. I didn't know you could do that. Get a DV charge and then resisting obstructing. Rock County Ordinance, resisting obstructing. This is not a criminal offense. Weird. She's got a lengthy history. What is this? Another operating while revoked. Review due to alcohol controlled substance refusal. 4th time she's been charged with it. So she's been charged with this like 4 times. She refused to have the alcohol test or have the breathalyzer. So they're saying that she was not she didn't consent to doing the breathalyzer or having a drug test. And she was driving while revoked. Got a lengthy driving history. Most of it's driving, and then a lot of it is alcohol or driving with alcohol. Bail jumping again. Far out. How many times can you get done with bail jumping? Class A misdemeanor. What the hell? What is that? What is 923? Oh, it's just a sentencing. Okay, view case details. Bail jumping. The charge ended up getting dismissed. Somehow she got the charge kicked out of court. Can show it to you. She was in court with her attorney. She had her rights given. Signature bond of $250. That's it. That was on her initial appearance. She posted bond. Changed her address at one point. Yeah. Dismissed. Judgment, dismissal, acquittal. There you go. It got kicked out of court. Interesting. Don't know how you get that thrown out of court. I need that lawyer. What's this one? Resisting an officer bail jumping misdemeanor also got revoked. Looks like she got in trouble at one point. Return of unclaimed undeliverable mail service. That might have been the bail jump. See here. See how it says not deliverable as addressed, unable to forward, return to sender? If you do that while you're out on a bond, they can consider it bail jumping because they don't know where you are. And they need to be able to legally notify you of like court or, something like that. They need to know how to find you. And that might be how she got done with that. Let's see. What else have we got? Filed electronically, transcript of judgment. She got done for owing $8,000 to Citizens Finance Co. and not paying it back. They took it to court. Looks like they settled. Small claims court. Also, Heights Finance Corporation, Advantage Sales and Marketing LLC, Amazon Payments, B&K Chambers. She's got a lot of garnishing on her wages. Plus, she had a financial company coming in looking for money. So she looks like she may have gone to like bankruptcy court at one point and had a lot of these type of things done. This lady's she's had a rough life. I don't know how much of it is her causing. Another small claims court. Who's this one? I don't know. It doesn't give me I don't know. She paid some money towards it. Okay. So it looks like early on she had a lot of problems with money. And then what was this? Traffic forfeiture, operating a motor vehicle without insurance. She pled guilty due to no contest plea. What did she get for that? She was suspended, suspension of driver's license for failing to pay the fine. And it's like a $200 fine. There you go. Looks like it got sorted out at one point. So she got a ton of traffic offense, ton of monetary offenses too. I'm guessing like writing bad checks or, stuff like that. Another operating while revoked. We know she did that like 4 times. You think she had a lot of children at this point too. Now, none of these, I don't think, are going to show any sort of custody stuff. That would be children's court, and they would not be in here. What's this? This is her last charge. What's going on here? Terminated. So they terminated that case. She was done with like bail jumping 3 times, obstructing an officer, disorderly conduct, and battery. Ugh. She's had a and then if we go to the Supreme Court soon, she'll probably have a write-up for these new charges, murder in the first degree. Laura said, must be a great lawyer for her to keep getting off. It's shocking how many times they closed the case and dropped the charges. A lot of them were very minor, and I think what they changed them to was basically not, instead of being a criminal charge, they changed it to an ordinance, basically, I think to stop it from being criminal. So they changed it to basically she broke a local ordinance. I don't know, I'm not in Wisconsin, but I do know they do that in some places to stop it getting to like a criminal point where you could be convicted. Let's see. One more. Operating while revoked. Fuck. How many operating while revoked? Operating while revoked. God, how many times did this woman get caught? Speeding on the freeway. This lady's done every. Oh my God, there's another page. I thought we were done. There's another page of them dating back to 2004. What did she get done with in 2004? Family court. I don't know what this is for. Parenting agreement. So it's a child custody thing. 2004. That must be for her other kid, not the one that 14 years. Can't be. That kid's only 14. 2004, that kid would be in their 30s. Can't be the one that died, that she is accused of killing. All right, let's go up to 2012. That would make that kid 14, right? Yeah. This one's also a. I don't want to read out that name on the top. Paternity acknowledgement. So someone tried to, or either she did or the dad did, tried to confirm paternity. Child support suspended for respondent. Dad had to pay $5 per month towards arrears while incarcerated, $10 per week once released. It's a lot of money. Looks like he got picked up for not paying child support. The dad did. Looks like dad got thrown in jail for not paying his money for his kid. Pay your child support, people. Get a paternity test, and if it is yours, pay it. It goes to the kid, not the mom. What's this one? Disorderly conduct, misdemeanor. Ah, jeez, guys. She's been done with like everything and anything in the world. She was found guilty originally. Court orally amends charge to remove domestic abuse enhancer. Defendant pleads no contest. Court finds defendant guilty. Court orders sentence withheld 2 years probation concurrent with the AODA. Any treatment deemed necessary. 2 days sentence credit for being in jail. Cost due August 22nd, 2019. Voluntary appearance in court after being in jail for 2 days. Very voluntary. Yeah, so look, this lady's got a freaking checkered history, guys. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. She had a good lawyer. This lawyer, or the official, has been the DA, has been the one on it the whole time, but she must have a good lawyer. Because most of the time she got away with it. All right. Gonna just check out this last one at the top. What was this? Speeding in a 55 zone. She was found guilty. Refusal to take tests for intoxication after arrest. She also got done for that. A lot of driving offenses, a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, a lot of refusal. This is where she got in trouble. So judgment amount was $50 for breaking that, not taking the test, and a lot of interest. Look at all these interest payments that got added to it. 23 cents probably a day until she paid it. Adjustments, 21. Balance due, $72.08. Make payment. I don't think we're going to do that. Due date 2017. I am not going to pay her outstanding traffic fine for her. But as you can see, at least by the ones that we've been able to go through, she's had a very checkered history, especially with, like we said, driving while intox, driving while uninsured, refusal to take breathalyzer, um, driving with no license. She's got a whole bunch of them. This is just in the lower court, circuit court. So I reckon if we went higher, there may be more. We wouldn't be. I don't think we'd find many of the paternity ones anyway. We did find one, but it was for a. It was what was that for? That was for a paternity test. It was a paternity test. Looks like here she had another one for child support in '07 for a different child or a legal guardian. Hold on, what is this? Just having a look. I don't want to read out stuff if it's involving a child. Support maintenance actions against a something. I can't see it all. Family court. Okay. So yeah, there you guys go. She's had a whole bunch of them. OWI. What's OWI? OWI. What the hell is OWI? Operating while intoxicated, same as DWI. So she's also got done in 2017, found guilty at court trial. Oh, she had a court trial. There you go. What'd she get done with? Suspension of license for failing. This is where she started getting herself into trouble. Judgment was for $953, including court fees and other charges. $953.50. She didn't pay it, so they took away her license. She kept driving when she didn't have a license, and this is what snowballed her offending. So she was still driving around the county with this unpaid court fine, and if you do that, they take your license away. And it seems like from about 2017 up until now, she's just been going in and out of court for not paying these court fines off. So she'll get done, drive around for a while, get picked up. They will be like, hey, you don't have a license for failing to pay. She'll go back into court. They'll be like, hey, we know you're a good person. You probably forgot about all this money you owe. Let's do a payment plan. And she agrees to the payment plan and gets out of court, doesn't pay it, drives around again, gets into trouble, and they pick her up again. And it seems to keep going around and around and around. So it sounds like she's had a lot of barriers in her life. Some of them self-caused. Some of them, I don't know. I don't have enough details to tell you. But she's definitely seen the inside of a courtroom a lot. She's seen, a ton. So she got sued at one point for not paying on credit. Citizens Finance, Heights Finance, and Citizens Finance again, plus Amazon. I don't know what that's for. How can Amazon sue you? I don't know. Wendy said, I just don't understand how this happens so often. I guess the courts are lenient for it. Truth be told, said if she had any dollars for attorney, she should have paid all she owed and called an Uber. Some people just think traffic offenses are, they're make believe. A lot of people believe that. They just think they're like, oh, they're not going to ever do anything. They're not ever going to get me. Truth be told, says shame on the judge or judges who were letting her go and while she was escalating. Wish we could see more of the trial court coverage, but it's illegal. Can't get that coverage. You're not supposed to be able to. I don't know why we can see the one here for paternity. You're not supposed to be able to. Maybe a mistake. because the other ones don't show up for the other daughter. The other ones don't. Yeah, the other ones do not show up. Only the one for her son, by the looks of it. So yeah, there you go. A sad ending to that. A mum who is now accused in a court of law for taking the life of her precious daughter. It's a sad story that we read far too often on this channel. We read too many about kids who are killed by their parents, and you just go, why? Is there nothing else that could have been done? Could something have been done earlier? Could this kid have been taken away from the mum earlier? I'm gonna say, look, failing to pay a bill doesn't mean you're a shit mum. It means you're a bit shitty with money, but it doesn't mean you're a shit mum. So I struggle with like blaming her for that, but it showed you that she had problems organizing her life, and yet alone having the responsibility for another human. It to me that showed that there was a problem. The fact that she kept getting for bail jumping and not paying these fines and driving with no license and driving with no insurance and driving while intoxicated over and over again showed me that there was obviously something going on in the background that needed to be addressed that never was, or at least that I can see. I know families saying that they tried, but I don't know what to tell you. I hate mornings. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. SPL said checking about to go to sleep. We'll watch a replay tomorrow. All right, have fun. Green Fairy Light said, "What's happening?" We were looking into a case of a young girl in Wisconsin who was killed by her mom. Here's a photo of her here. This is her. Came out today that it was her own mother who ended up hurting her, which is, it's sad. Really sad. Guys, why is there so many crimes against vulnerable young people? It sucks. So I hope all her friends in life keep talking about her and posting all the photos and things like that. I think it'll help. I think it'll give them all something to, a way to work through the grief of losing their friend. And the best way we can do that is by sharing memories of the people we lose in life. And I hope they continue. Hopefully, we'll find out a bit more from the sheriff's office. They're telling us that they will do a press conference at some point. They haven't told us when. They just said they will do it eventually. So I think they're probably just waiting for everyone to calm down a little bit. All right. I got one last video I can play for you. It's a very short one. I think we may have already watched it, but I'll play it again.
GoFundMe is up for 14-year-old Curran Rain. The teen family members say was found dead in a town of Turtle home. Curran's aunt told our sister station in Madison that Curran was kind, intelligent, and maintained such contagious optimism even in the darkest of times. The GoFundMe helps the family pay for Curran's funeral. 41-year-old Tyiece Oninski of Beloit is in custody and charged with the crime. It's unclear how she is connected to the teen.
He's only on camera for a few seconds, but it
There we go. We're not going to watch that. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad either way. I'll let you know if we get more about her, and I'll let you know if we get more about the mom. I want to say, that if it comes out that family had been going to CPS and family court for the last 14 years of this girl's life trying to get her away from the mom, I am going to be absolutely livid if I find that out, because it's shocking to me how often that, we always say, how come nobody noticed? How come there was no red flags? But there are. Look, I just showed you a whole bunch of them. And I'm guessing there's more that are under court seal that we can't see. If that ends up being the case, I'm going to be absolutely livid because it's ridiculous. Why don't we start listening to people? If they say there's a problem there, believe them, investigate it. You can't just be like, oh, well, they showed up to court. They kind of look like a nice person. She paid her fine eventually. Like, if there's repeat things that keep coming up, people are not doing that just to be mean. They're doing that because they're worried about the child and the mum. Maybe something could have been done earlier. The fact that some of the kids that she had don't live with her tells me that there were problems already with her. Not that it's wrong to not have your children. One of them lives with a friend. Another one lives somewhere else or something that we heard in the video. And then the third one was this little girl who apparently was still either in contact with her mum or with her mum, at least during the time she was killed. It tells me that there's obviously a problem. And I don't know why it wasn't ever addressed correctly. Maybe if it was, I wouldn't be sitting here today telling you how this 14-year-old girl was killed by her own mum. Maybe I wouldn't have to tell that story. So yeah, it is frustrating. It is because I feel like for all the people who watch true crime, we see it so easily because we're so saturated with true crime. We just look at something and go, "Oh, it was this," and we look, "Oh, there's a red flag," and "Oh, we could have seen this from a mile away." And I feel like wouldn't there be other people that seen that too? They don't have to be in true crime, but they could just know the family, or there has to have been people that worked with them over the years, especially with the 5,000 court hearings that mum had been to. I don't know, guys. It's sad. We really wish that we didn't have to do stories like this. Is this her here? I found her Facebook. Is that her Facebook there? She never updated it since 2020. Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Believe she lived there at one point. They're from the town we're talking about right now. Just having a look through her page. I don't really like this type of thing. She put up on her page, here is a group photo, group picture of all my friends when I'm struggling. And it's like a cry for help, right? But not a very good one. And then she wrote, I've always been scared to get close to anyone. Doesn't seem so. You had 3 kids or whatever you had. Seems like you're perfectly fine at getting close to people. Because everyone that said they would always be there for me left. It's such like a emotional guilt trip. Such an emotional guilt trip. 1984, same year that Ping was born. 1984, same age as me. Finally free and finding me. Can't stand people who talk in like those type of ways on Facebook and that. Like, what do they call it? Like catchphrases. It drives me insane. Let's have a look. So that's her there back in 2020. I don't know where you're free from. Maybe jail. Maybe one of the 400 times you were in jail. Sometimes people pretend you're a bad person so they don't feel guilty about the things they did to you. I don't know about that. Let's see what else she posts. You don't know pain until you got to force your heart to stop loving someone. Love your children and yourself and don't care about anyone else. That was pointless. We could have stayed strangers. Okay. Please, no more relationships that are supposed to be a lesson. I'm quite the scholar. And you have a couple of kids to show for it. Toxic is when they can't let you go, but they can't treat you right either. I don't know, miss. I've been charged with DV. How about you tell us about toxic? Because I can't see the other people's charges, but you have been charged with DV at least a couple of times. So, yeah, it's like emotional blackmail. That's what these messages are all about. They're supposed to make people feel sorry for her, but I don't think they do. I feel like when people post those things, it actually makes them seem a bit pathetic because that's not a good way of communicating if you really are struggling. If you really are struggling, you don't use emotional blackmail to try and get people to come and help you. You have to reach out and be an adult and actually talk to the people in your life that matter. You can't just be posting random shit on Facebook and being like, hey, please, over here, look, there's a flag. Look, here, over here, I'm struggling. It doesn't work like that. You have to be the one that takes that first step and you have to reach out to the people who you know in your life that can do something about it, who can support you and get you the help you need. You can't be posting on Facebook to random weirdos these type of stupid messages because they just come off as pathetic. Like every time I read these on Facebook, I just go, ugh, like why? No one gives a fuck. Like shut up. And it's like, not that I wouldn't help them if they needed help, but there's a better way of doing it than this. Does anyone else have the dating part of Facebook keep coming back, or is it BS and it stays gone? I think you should stay the fuck away from the dating part. Well, she can now. She's in jail. All right. Ping's starting to swear. So it means that I'm getting too worked up about it. So we have to change topic. Wendy says now first degree murder. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Jules and me. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Kim says fix yourself first. Yeah, don't be looking for no dating. I don't think she needs it. Anyway, that was a long time ago. That was in 2020. If that child is 14, the kid would have been 8, 7, 8 when she was posting a lot of this type of thing. So, hey, now she's in jail on first degree murder for killing her daughter. So, there you go. Kayla just spat her meds out due to ping. Oh yeah. Sorry about the swearing. It's I try. It's funny. I'll tell you a story. The other day, I was talking to my family, and I was telling them about the live show, and they know what I'm like. So they know Ping swears quite a bit. I'm not as bad as I used to be. About 10, 15 years ago, I swore like a sailor. I don't so much anymore, but every now and then I start getting caught up in something like what just happened and I'll start swearing. Um, I was telling them, I was like, oh, hey, with the they know about the channel. And I was saying, like, oh, there's a lot of people that don't like swearing and like I get complaints and things like that. And and they're like, oh yeah, we're just sort of used to it by now. They're like, it's been 20 years, we're just used to it. And I was like, that's pretty funny. I was like, oh, maybe these people will eventually get used to it too, but I don't think so because I always get complaints. People are always like, Ping, stop swearing. But yeah, there you go. Tyiece, I think her middle name is Lynn Oninski, charged with the murder of her daughter in Rock County, and we'll find out more about her in the coming days, I am sure. But what a sweet girl, hey? You never like reading those stories in true crime, and I'm sure there's a whole town full of people that knew not only the mum but her as well. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but Curran. I'm sure there's a lot of people who knew her, and you know, I'm hoping there'll be some sort of public memorial at her high school at some point. You can see behind her, there's her high school, and she probably had a lot of friends there. So Marilyn said, "My daughter used to swear until her kids repeated words." There you go. Ping just needs to get a couple of children. That's what I need to do. That's how you stop it. You learn that kids are like sponges and that you can't say that stuff around them because then you'll look like a bad parent because I'll start repeating everything you say. I really like this photo that her brother posted as well. Oh, I didn't realize she had a gecko on her head. I didn't even realize. Is that a gecko? Some sort of lizard. She has a lizard on her head. So her and her brother, when they were young, all my thoughts go out to her brother as well. It sounds like there may be another brother, like she may have two, because in the GoFundMe, like they said, there was a younger brother. I don't know. We'll find out at some point. All right. What else do we have to talk about tonight? Well, we have a lot of things. I have another story, but I don't know. No. I got a couple of things. You guys tell me. I've got a story out of Loyola University. Oh no, that's an old story. Hold on. We might have an update on something. Yes, we do. Okay. I'm going to take you out to Florida. That's where we're going to go. If I can get to it. So, a grand jury in Florida indicted a 40-year-old. No, wait. That's the same story that we just did. Ping, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Ping? I was about to read you. Is that what's just going on in the world today? Look how similar this is, but it's in Florida. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I feel like we just got through that. This mom was just indicted by a grand jury in Santa Rosa County for killing her 6-year-old daughter last month. She said that she reportedly made a bizarre phone call to her sister talking about evil spirits and suggesting that something terrible had happened. They said that they found the child in the house. The child was on the floor covered with blood, and that the child had died. She is alleged to have killed the child with 2 knives, stabbing her 40 times. The mother suffered self-inflicted stab wounds to the neck and stomach, but she did survive. So now she's been indicted by that grand jury. I hope she is held super accountable. I hope they give her the DP, not the good kind, although they could do that too. Although that's probably some sort of sex crime. April Olivia accused of stabbing her daughter. It's another sad case. I feel like that's all we're talking about lately. Yeah. Mother accused of stabbing her 6-year-old daughter 40 times was indicted Monday by a Santa Rosa County grand jury for first-degree murder. Her next court date is scheduled for April 30, and if convicted, faces a lifetime in state prison. Why it's not the death penalty, I don't know. They say here physical evidence showed that the child had approximately 40 stab wounds, including stab wounds to her heart, kidneys, liver, and spleen. The child's throat had been cut, and she had numerous cuts to her right hand and arm, consistent with defensive wounds to the child. Heartbreaking to read a child has defensive wounds. Can you imagine what that means? Like I don't know how many of you out there have seen crime scene photos, like a body in situ. I'm sure maybe some of you have, if you're really into true crime, maybe you have seen quite a lot of that type of thing. Ping has. defensive wounds are one of the most like you see it on an adult and you go, "Oh my god, look how much they fought for their life." You see it on a child and you go, "Why? Why was that necessary?" And it's heartbreaking. Poor kids, man. It's to hear that, defensive wounds. She tried to fight her mother off. It's really sad. They're saying here, according to Florida statutes, a defendant who is deemed insane at the time of the alleged incident is found to have a mental infirmity that prevents the defendant from understanding the actions that led to the incident. If a jury, or by stipulation of the attorneys and finding of a judge, finds the defendant was insane at the time of the incident, the defendant can be found not guilty by reason of insanity and are often involuntarily committed to the state hospital for treatment. Is that what she's claiming? During a hearing on March 2nd, her lawyer, Mo Roberts, informed the court he intended to get his client a mental health eval. Based on my client's current mental state, my office intends to have her evaluated for competency and sanity at the time of the alleged incident. It doesn't mean she'll get it. It's quite a high bar to reach to actually get both attorneys, so it's defense and the prosecution, and the finding judge to make that finding that they were insane at the time of the offending. It's a really high bar. In Australia, there was actually a court case that I was doing last year. I can't tell you which one, but there was a court case last year that I really wanted to do, and I ended up abandoning it because it was being done under the Mental Health Act because the perpetrator was basically not competent to stand trial, and they were going to trial. So they hold it under a special section. I think it's section 9 or section 6. I'll have to look it up. I think it's 9 or 6. Basically meaning they go to trial on the understanding that they are not competent. They cannot direct their attorneys at trial, but they go through the trial and will probably be found guilty. Then they're committed to a hospital. That is how it works here. And it sounds like they're going to try and do that with this woman in Florida. But the Florida bar is much higher. To be found not guilty by reason of insanity, the bar is quite high. I think it's harder in Florida to get it than it is in Melbourne. In Melbourne, if you can get a few doctors to write to the court, explain what's wrong, say that they basically can't understand, can't direct their lawyers to give them a defense, then you could probably get it. In Florida, I think it's much harder. Marilyn said Andrea Yates. That's a good one. It is a good one. So this lady, do we have a photo of her? April Olivia. Let's have a look. Yeah, we have a photo. Oh, here we go. What happened to her? It looks like someone doused her with a hose. There's her in her turtle suit. It looks like they have taken her clothes from her. And that is probably her sitting at the camera for a court session. And I don't know. She looks like somebody got a fire hose and drenched her. But that's the mom. I don't think I have a photo of her daughter. I don't think I have a name of the daughter. Hold on. Was there a GoFundMe? I'm just going to check something. No, that's not it. I was hoping to find the daughter, but I can't find anything. Yeah, I can't find anything about who the daughter might be, but that's her photo up there that you can see. Apparently, there's new court documents. Let's have a look. On February 24, 2026, a family member of April Olivia went to her residence after April made a phone call and was making unusual comments. April Olivia was laying on her 6-year-old daughter, and both of them were covered in blood. The child was pronounced deceased and had numerous deep lacerations to the neck and torso. April Olivia had a couple of injuries to her neck and stated that she knew she would be going to jail while en route to the hospital. 2 knives were discovered in the residence that appeared to be related to the crime. One was recovered in the dining room, the other was located in the kitchen. And there is some more the details about where the child had the injuries. So that was out of the courtroom the other day. This is an electronic filing. What do they say here? That there's no conditions of release or bail that will reasonably protect the community from the risk of physical harm, ensure the presence of the defendant at trial, or assure the integrity of the judicial process. Basically saying that they have to keep her in jail for probably for the entirety of the process for trial. So they're only getting her on second-degree murder. Interesting that it is second degree. I think if you take a knife and kill your daughter, it should be first-degree murder. Where's Betsy? Yeah, I agree. So damn sad. I'm sure this wasn't the first episode either. I agree, it probably isn't. We just read far too many of these. Let me have a look. There's another photo of her here if you guys want to have a look at it. She looks so different in that photo, right? This photo compared to the one I showed you where she has the turtle thing on. Interesting. You know, when you have a knife and you stab someone that many times, 40 times, it's a lot of effort. It's not like a 1 and a 2 and they die and you go, "Oh my god, what have I done?" To, have that action 40 times, it's a lot of expenditure of energy that you're doing to commit that crime. You have to be so determined to do that, to follow it through, to see what is happening in front of your eyes while doing it. It is a lot of energy, and that'll probably get brought up in trial. They'll say, "Well, how come you didn't stop? How come you didn't help? How come you didn't do X, Y, and Z?" They'll say 40 times is a lot of injuries to do to a child. Yet alone an adult. Jodi Arias. One day we'll do a show about. I have never ever done a show about Jodi Arias, but I was around not doing true crime. I wasn't a true crime creator, but I was following trials back then, and I went through the entire Jodi Arias trial at the time, and it was one of the most bonkers trials I think I've been a part of. Wendy said she was hospitalized after the incident. Yeah, because she attacked herself. she attacked her. Actually, that's a good point. Where's that photo? Ah, that's what that is. I thought they were tattoos. I was like, wow, she's got some tattoos. No, these are the cut marks that they have stitched up. Can you see on her neck here? I know it's a little blurry. There and there, she has self-inflicted wounds. So she gave it a good shot. She just didn't get deep enough, apparently. She tried. I'm going to say one of the things that might get brought up at trial is they will reference those wounds to her neck and they will be like, you so easily put that knife into your child 40 times and killed her. But when it came to yourself, how come you couldn't complete it? How come they are superficial? How come you survived? And that may be the difference between her getting the insanity and not. Because they may say that because they're only surface wounds, that she is not insane at the time of her offending, that she knew what would happen if she put that knife in her own neck too deep, meaning she knew what was going on at the time of the offending. So, hey Kelly, how are you? Good to see you. What time are we at? By the way, we had some nice people. Who is this? My friend Sean and Lisa, thank you for the donations. I appreciate it. By the way, we will go to trial at some point in the future. I will be there for the Samantha Murphy trial. I'll have more to talk about that in a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks, I will tell you what's going on. Jill says in Pennsylvania, they think you can stab yourself at least 20 plus. Aaron Greenberg, is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Not a chance. I listened to the new documentary on that. There was a new documentary that came out like a couple of months ago. Is it called Death in Apartment 603? It was a pretty good documentary on Hulu, Disney Plus. You can go watch it. I think it provides a half decent, half narrative on it. Like, oh, this is what could have happened and this is what might have happened, like two sides to it. I think it shows you just the gravity of what would have had to have happened in that apartment at the time. You know, the one thing that always gets me is that photo of where the wounds are. I'm not going to show you a high definition one of it, but that one. I don't know how you could do that. How could you do this to your own neck? I'm so confused how that's even a real thing. Kim says, I watched the volcano documentary. Did you like it? It's a good documentary. Betsy said the person who screwed up the streaming at the Morphew case was Judy Ron. What? Oh, was that? Oh, did that go to trial? Morphew. Are we in trial for the Morphew case already? Oh, we are in the trial already. Whoops. Good work, Ping. I've been so caught up doing Australian things and getting ready for other trials down here. I completely forgot. I completely forgot we would be doing anything with that one. It's been a busy year already with stuff going on in Melbourne. Oh, we're not going to trial yet? Okay. Looks like it's probably not going to get underway until October. I'll see you in October. I've got 2 other trials in Melbourne to do before that time. I'll catch up on everything in October. Yeah, I'm not going to do any of the pre stuff for this one. We already know so much about it. I mean, interesting for you guys, but I don't have any comment on it. Yeah, it looks like they're saying July of this year is sort of the final finality for the pre-trial motions and requests and things like that. They need to have everything sort of knocked out in the second week of July, and they need to have it done and dusted. So then then it will go to trial, hopefully without any delays, in October 13. So I don't know. It wasn't my comment, buddy. It was who said it? I don't know who said it. Someone did. I think it was Marilyn. Probably be pushed out somehow. I have a story about trials being pushed out and not going on when they're supposed to. I will tell you that story in the future. Marilyn said not live streaming the Morphew trial. They're not going to. That's annoying. It'll be like Aaron Patterson's trial. They say public live streaming for the Barry Morphew trial has been officially banned by the judge. You cannot watch a live broadcast or stream of the proceedings on platform like YouTube or the court's website. You know, I understand that there were several violations from true crime channels, like when there was the court Zoom. I think it was a Zoom or a WebEx, and there was a bunch of YouTubers who were either rebroadcasting the WebEx or allowing access to other people that you're not allowed to. The courts take it very seriously. I can tell you, I've had access to court things, and with the Supreme Court in Melbourne, in Victoria, I've had access to things that you're not, that I can't restream. I can't show you guys, and you have to take it very seriously. I don't know about in Colorado, but here there are significant penalties that you can get done with if you don't follow the court's direction. So you got to be careful. Wild mushroom growth after the rains in Australia. Maybe after today. It rained here all afternoon. There's going to be death cap mushrooms everywhere. No, no, don't go looking for them. You saw what happened in California. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. Who were the YouTube channels that did that, I wonder? Who was it? Who was it? I'm trying to. If anyone knows who the two courts were that rebroadcast the trial, let me know. Okay. Yeah, if you know who they were, I can't seem to find it. JLR and Judy Ron. You shouldn't do it. I mean, it's all good and well to be like, hey, look how many followers I gained for doing something I shouldn't have, but you'll eventually look what happened. Now none of us have access to the trial. It's all well and good if you can travel there and now go in person if the court allows you in. But now people are like, I can't do it. Other people can't do it. So you sort of ruined it for everyone. And you know what is going to happen? The media companies, they'll have access. They'll have access because they will say only accredited media will have the secret live stream, and they'll be able to write their reports and comment on it live, and now everyone on YouTube is cut out of it. So it's not cool. Yeah. Duty Run didn't realize that it was a no-no. You cannot restream anything from the court. You're not allowed to. It is even down here. It's a rule. You cannot do it. Here, Victoria Supreme Court live stream rules. The Supreme Court of Victoria allows public viewing of select proceedings via live stream, subject to strict rules. Recording, photography, taking screenshots, or rebroadcasting footage is strictly prohibited. Viewers must comply with all non-publication orders, and breach of these orders may lead to penalties for contempt of court. And yeah, it says here, it is forbidden to copy, store, edit, or share the footage, including to posting to live stream. Live streams are for viewing, intending to mirror the experience of attending in a courtroom. All confidentiality and non-publication orders remain in force during the stream. So there you go. So you can't do it down here. You can face penalties and yeah. Kelly said, agree, Ping. I think the crackdown is going to continue because of all the different social media attention on cases. That's why I try and do the right thing with the court, and that's why they still allow me to go and cover trials, because I won't do that type of thing. I won't break the rules just to get a few followers. And that's why I'm allowed to go and do these type of cases later in the year. So we'll have 2 this year. I think we'll have 3 in a couple of months. Or what is it now? What day is it? It is, what day is it? It's the 25th of March. In a little while, we will have the trial for Patrick Orange Stevenson. I will be there in person, and I'll be covering that trial. Then later in the year, we will have the retrial of Gregory Lynn, the Jetstar pilot accused of killing the 2 elderly campers, convicted of one, acquitted of the other. We're going to go back to trial for the one he was found guilty of murder on. That's what we're going to go back to trial for. That'll happen later this year. Then towards the end of this year, maybe early next year, we should have the trial for the death of Isla Bell. I should be in person at that one because it's going to be held in the Victorian Supreme Court in Melbourne. So I should be at that one as well. So we've got 3 coming up this year, and then whatever else we can find in America. Kelly said the court in the Corey Richards didn't want cameras in court. We are seeing it more and more. I think what we're seeing is that even in politics, there's a line that is starting to blur between what is media and what is what is media. And it's like, where do you draw that line, and where is it fair to draw that line? The courts don't want to be the one to actually define it. So instead of trying to define it, they're just cutting access completely. And that's how they're dealing with it, instead of trying to define who is media and who isn't. And I think we're going to see a lot more of it, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, but when people don't follow the court's rules, whether it's a mistake, an accident or not, it doesn't really matter. It ends up being a negative. So, there is a little bit of news on that person. We now know who the victim is. Hold on. Saw a photo of the victim today, Dayton James Weber. There is a little bit of new information if I can get to it. By the way, I think I've got a photo of his victim. Hold on. Huh. I don't. Hold on. Yeah, Bradrick Michael Wells. I saw a photo of him earlier today. Here. Where did we go? There. There's the photo of his victim. I'm not sure what's up with the motorbikes, but that is Bradrick Michael Wells, the victim of who Dayton James Weber killed the other day, and shot and killed, if you believe the reports coming out of the area now. Let me see. That must not be it. I'll take you to ABC 7 in Chicago.
Quadruple amputee cornhole champion now facing murder charges for allegedly shooting and killing someone in his vehicle. The incident happened in Maryland before the alleged shooter then left to Virginia. Eyewitness News reporter Mark Cotarobles is in studio with the shocking details on this. Mark?
Yeah, Michelle, good evening. The headline alone is not something you hear every day. The man charged in the deadly shooting is a quadruple amputee who was driving a car as the shooting happened. He is 27-year-old Dayton James Weber, seen here in this mugshot. He's been in the spotlight before, but for much different reasons. Weber was featured by ESPN a few years ago, highlighting his success as a competitive cornhole champion. Now, after the incident last night, he is a murder suspect accused of fatally shooting a passenger in his car while driving through a small town in Maryland. Local authorities alerted by two witnesses who were passengers in the back seat, revealing a well-known name locally as the suspect.
There's been many news stories done about him, and a lot of people are very familiar with him.
That being said, the prior news stories, all positive.
Yes, yes.
Not only did he allegedly fire the gun, he's also driving the car. What do you know about those circumstances on how he can even accomplish this?
What I would say is that his accomplishments and capabilities have been well documented on the internet. There's a YouTube channel and a lot of stories out there about what he is capable of doing. And we would urge anybody who has questions to just look at his name and look at the videos.
Here are more of those videos you can beat as a pro in the American Cornhole League. He has been a quadruple amputee since he was a child. At 10 months old, he was given just a 10% chance to live. To save his life and stop a deadly sepsis infection from spreading, doctors amputated both of his arms and legs. As for the shooting, authorities ultimately found a body dumped in a yard, Weber, across state lines in Virginia. He is now facing a first-degree murder charge. Live here in studio, Mark Cotarobles, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Mark, back to you.
It's been hard to imagine what it was like for Dell to watch our Secret Shopper series and have all their worst problems brought to light. But after
Sorry about that. You don't get to watch Linus while we're while we're doing this show. Sorry about that. That's Linus from Linus Tech Tips, if you don't know who it is. Yeah, I am it's a really sad case. Why they felt the need, or why he felt the need to shoot his buddy in his car. We're gonna have to wait for those court documents to come out, and yeah, unfortunate, very unfortunate. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, I'll just put his photo back up because we couldn't find it the other day. Bradrick Michael Wells. I'm not sure what's up with the motorbikes, but that's the photo I can find of him. Why is that like the only photo of him available? I'm not sure. Let me see what else we've still got. They're saying here police are still working to determine what led to Dayton James Weber to pulling that trigger and why it had, why in the middle of a car ride, and then taking off with him. It is a bit strange. So he's been in court. He has not fought back at extradition, so he will make it back to the other county. And yeah, that's it right now. That's all really what we know. So Jill said, sure, they have computer to help extensions, but multi-taken. Mom said that's where a will, there's a way. Why so triggered? Drugs? I really don't know. I'm not sure what makes you shoot someone in a car like that in a closed environment. They called it a heated argument, and then it happened in the front and driver's seat. So front passenger and driver's seat. Just pulled out a gun and shot him. Yeah, I really don't know. Yeah, strange, guys. We saw that video last night of him actually firing a weapon, and so we know you can do it. But how do you do it and drive? I want to know how you do it and drive, because we saw him do it and it was a little awkward, like with the way he had to cock the gun. And how did he do that and drive the car? Multitasking? Yeah, apparently. He's very good at that. All right. Do we have any more cases that I want to talk about tonight? Gypsy Rose jokes about killing mum in TikTok video. Go away. Go away. Let's see. Can't stand Gypsy Rose. I mean, her story's fascinating, but her herself don't have much I don't have much tolerance for her at all. Let's see. Let's go to Orlando PD. There might be something interesting. They're saying oh, here we go. Road rage. Don't be going out there and committing road rage, everyone. They're saying a woman attacked an elderly victim during a driving dispute, and then what happened? And then bit an officer. All right, let's have a look. So there she goes and attacks the other lady's vehicle. And then they responded. Oh, we're going to get the body cam. Let's watch. Gather around, everyone. Oh, here she goes. No, go on, love. What are you doing? Oh, listen to her. Wait, can we listen to her? No, we don't get any. What the hell? She's like 5'10" and full of dynamite. The victim described the suspect in a vehicle and an officer located her. And then she tried to bite the officer.
So I determine otherwise. You understand?
Absolutely no.
Don't resist me.
Tell me why. Tell me why. First of all, tell me why.
Don't resist. You're being held for battery. Okay. Do not hold. Do not resist.
I am. Stop.
Don't bite me.
There's the biting. There's the biting. You know, like Mama used to say, act like a hoe, get treated like a hoe. I don't know what's up with the background music. It's annoying, but it's all right.
Turn around.
She's a violent little Mighty Mouse. Come on, Mighty Mouse. Into the patrol car. There she goes. Biting an officer, though. Oh, what'd she say? Hold on.
Step in there to buckle you in, okay?
Oh.
Yeah.
I like how only after she got her face absolutely mangled by the cops because she was resisting and then tried to bite the cop. She looks absolutely battered. I mean, her face is really badly bruised and she is bloodied all over. She is not a very smart person. Let's have a look. I don't know what she's licking. Not a cat. There you go. Arrested. Wow, her cheek is really messed up. Aggravated battery on law enforcement, burglary of a conveyance, resisting officer with violence, battery on person 65 years of age or over. What the hell? Yeah, she attacked an elderly woman, tried to bite an officer, and then tried to run from the officer when they were arresting her. Tell me why. I know. And then got her face pushed into a wall because she tried to run away. Some people just think they own the world and they have to be shown differently. This lady had to be shown differently. I really like she thinks in this position right here that somehow she is in the power position. She learnt very quickly that she is not, and the cop wasn't going to have anything to do with it. And then he's like, "Hey, I'm going to have to slam your face into the wall because you tried to bite me." And then there you go, facing the pavement. And then she tried to bite him. That's clever. What were you going to do? Bite him and run away while you have a handcuff on you? Very clever. Obviously a scientist. This one here. Obviously someone of high intellect. She's obviously not very clever. I like how pouty she got in this one here. She finally went, okay, maybe I am resisting. Maybe I should shut up and just sit in the car. If only she had followed his directions originally, her face wouldn't need reconstructive surgery, because I'm guessing she has a broken orbital bone in her cheek or eye, because she is real bruised up. Hey, Patricia. Good night, my friend. Hey, Gayla. Good night. I don't know what's with the entitled people. Yeah, stop biting the cops, man. Let them do their job. If you think you're so innocent, you can battle it out in court. Mandolin Schaefer Brockwell is her name. Seems like a lady who would do that. Someone called Mandolin. Who is named after a freaking musical instrument? Mandolin. You're like, yes, honey, that's a beautiful child that you have given birth to. A female. How lucky we are. Let's name her after an exotic musical instrument. Let's name her Mandolin. Yeah, so there you go. Woman of Steel said she probably has some loosened up teeth too. She's going to need some reconstructive surgery. Star Wars character? Maybe. Yeah, Lisa says, I know who her parents are by that name. I know, right? All right. It's been a fun night, ladies and gentlemen. It really has. I've had a lot of fun talking to you guys. Yeah, just let me check this thing here. Yeah, thanks to my friend Lisa and Sean. Thanks for supporting the channel. If you want to do that too, you can find the links underneath the video, but if they're not there tonight, I think we're having problems setting up our templates this evening. They are in the chat. You can find them in there. and the donations to the channel are highly appreciated by Ping. Yes, I'm going to get out of here. I have to go to the Gaim. Le Gaim. Ping has to go do his Gaim work, and then get some dinner. So, hey, I love you guys all very much. Have a great night out there. I'll bring you more updates tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Bye.